Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay. Page 644, a opening medley of Hine Matov and Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. How very good and so lovely, dwelling in peace together. How very good and so lovely, dwelling in peace together. So in harmony, sisters and brothers together. So in harmony, sisters and brothers together. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem.
Any better? Hooray. Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone to Shabbat at TBO, whether you are here with us in our congregation or watching from home. We're glad that you're here. So we're here primarily, of course, to celebrate our Shabbat day. We are also here to celebrate our newest member of the adult Jewish community because he is becoming a bar mitzvah, a Jewish religious adult. This weekend it is Braden Akiva Bagun, so mazel tov to you, mazel tov to your whole family who has been members for a very long time. And mazel tov to grandparents, friends, and all else who will be here tomorrow. So please, if you haven't been to a TBO bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah service, please come. It is fun, and it flows, and it's easy, and it's not 3 hours long, and it starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and they're very meaningful. So mazel tov to the bagoons. Before we start, just take a minute. We're sort of scattered about a little bit. Take a moment to introduce yourself to someone you don't know, say hello and welcome them, and we will convene back in a minute or two. So on the third Shabbat of the month, we not only gather early for wine and cheese and crackers. So if you are at home and you can at all get here on the third Friday of the month, that is a highlight, our 6 o'clock pre-nag. But part of the third Friday service is also everyone coming up and having an opportunity to light a Shabbat candle for themselves. So we invite everyone to come forward. To lead us in the Shabbat candle lighting blessing will be our bar mitzvah, Braden Bagoon, and his grandparents, Judy and Sandy Smith. You have to go to the candles to light them. So we light, and then after we join in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed
are you, God, source of all life, who brings us holiness through mitzvot, and who has given us the mitzvah of lighting the Shabbat candles.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
Yesher koach, thank you. Thank you. Yesher koach. We now join in our song of welcoming the Shabbat bride, the beautiful image we envision Shabbat being, coming into our space, coming into our lives, our homes, for the course of the Shabbat day. So the song we sing to welcome her is Lecha Dodi on page 138. It's our tradition to sing verses 1, 2, and 9. And on the final verse, we rise to face the door and welcome her in. Page 138, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha, ishmianu el ha'meuchad, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לה 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 לה. לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת כלה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך המוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. Woo! Yay, Shabbat Bride. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish, page 144. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach rutei v'amlech malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei decho beit Yisrael b'gala uv'izman kariv v'emeru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam alal me'al maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bialma v'yemeru amen. We continue with Baruch Hu on page 146. If you're able, you may rise.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can I hear your voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la.
Shema on page 152 is a line, a teaching from our Torah that tells us to be attentive. Be attentive that there is one God that unifies all people, all living things. We're living in tough times to get a strong sense that all people are indeed united with one God. We're living in a time, maybe it's always been that time, where it just seems so divisive and that we just can't find common ground with others. And this has always been a challenge for our world, and this line has never been an easy one. It can be hard to find that godliness that unites all people, no matter what their words or actions may be. I guess that is the eternal struggle we have as Jews, to learn to connect not only to people who we find it easy to connect with, but also those who connecting with poses difficulties and challenges for us. So Shema is on page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
to call up as we continue. The line after Shema in the Torah is via Hafta, page 154. Invite up our bar mitzvah, Braden Bagoon, to lead us. 154.
Hafta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anohi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'sinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbacha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'od al yadecha v'chayu letotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'yisharecha leman tizkeru Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hihem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiyot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. Yesher koach. Well done. Thanks. A little tidbit of what you'll be seeing tomorrow. And Michamocha, our song of freedom. Our people exclaimed with joy as they were freed from slavery in Egypt. Michamocha ba'ilim Adonai. Who can possibly be like this God who helps us to move from a place of I don't want to say enslavement, a place of restriction and oppression into a place of openness, a place where we are more free to be who we are. And Mi Chamocha is on page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ha'kodeh. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Our tradition has a special prayer for protection at night, the time when we are often most fearful or anxious, when our thoughts sometimes can run away from us. And Hashkivenu on page 160 is that prayer, that we be able to lie down in peace and raise up in the morning to also a sense of peace and renewal. So this version of Hashkivenu we've been doing the last few weeks. It's by Noah Aronson, and we don't have song sheets. Correct? No song sheets, but Hashkivenu is on page 160.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu leshalom.
We continue with the central portion of our worship service, which is the tefillah. It begins on page 164. If you're able, you may rise.
Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai. Open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livanei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav L'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Sahomech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar. Micha Mocha Bal Givurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shemcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue with a moment of silent reflection, either with the words of our prayer books or the words of our hearts, and we continue either standing or sitting.
שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen.
We pause to send our thoughts and our prayers to all those who are in need of healing, emotional healing, physical healing. We think of them. We hope that all who feel broken this week can pick up some comfort and strength and some amount of healing from our prayers. On this Shabbat, we especially think of Paul Aronson, David Appel, Sherry Estalos, Judy Averbach, Pat Breitkopf, Ethan Campbell, Sandra Chesler, Brian Clohessy, Randy Clohessy, Jay Crystal, Terry Darmody, Roizabat Shmuel Uvat Sheva, Stephen Fish, Sandra Friedland, Shar Friedman, Tracy Janetta, Julian Kaner, Marion Kostrinsky, Marty Kiefer, Shelley Lehner, Michael Levin, Mark Merberg, Claude Rabinowitz, Arnold Reamer, Rosalie Saltiel, Louise Samuels, Bobby Sherman-Gieshin, Herman Spring, Robin Stein, Carla Teisch, Katie Weinstock, Lori Weinstock, Laura Weisberg. Are there others we wish to think of on this Shabbat? We join together in our prayer for healing, Misha Beirach, on page 109.
Misha Beirach Avoteinu Mekor Abracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Beirach Imoteinu Mekor Abracha Lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I did not enjoy being pregnant either time. I was nauseated, I fainted a couple of times, couldn't sleep, had muscle pains. I got through by counting the days. I had a counter on my fridge that said exactly which percentage of my pregnancy I was through each day. So 40% done, 42% done. I would laser focus on it regularly. I had this little thing with myself that when I went to the supermarket, I would look at the expiration dates on the various dairy products. You can kind of see at a glance. And I was waiting until the expiration dates started including my due date, which was September 8th. And every time I'd go, I'd be like, okay, we're getting close to the expiration dates, or like the end of August, or almost there. And finally, I still think of this when I walk through the dairy aisle. Finally, I started seeing on the expiration date September 8th on the yogurt and milk containers. And I knew delivery would be around the corner. Such a great feeling. Of course, September 8th came and went, and I had to wait what I think was another 7 months, or maybe not, maybe just 5 more days, but it absolutely felt like 7 more months. And that baby who came into the world on September 13th, 1991, is now newly married and talking about having babies of her own. And her little sister, who I hadn't even imagined in 1991, just graduated from NYU yesterday with a Master of Arts in Food Studies. And every time we have a milestone like this, I remember that counting the days brings kind of a mixture of emotions. It's true that counting days can get you through tough times, knowing, as it is said in Hebrew, Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass. But it's also true that counting away your days can bring regrets as years pass all too quickly by. So right now, traditionally, Jews are counting the Omer, which is something that dates way back to the barley harvest. It has come to be more than just an agricultural period of counting. It's actually counting that starts on Pesach and goes until the festival of Shavuot. Shavuot actually means weeks because it's 7 weeks of 7 days, 49 days in between the two. And it's traditional to each night say a blessing for counting these days of the Omer and announcing what day it is. So tonight is actually halfway. Tonight is 25 days of the Omer. We're halfway through the beginning of this sense of being freed from Egypt, the festival of Passover, and heading toward the festival of Shavuot, which also now, in addition to being an agricultural celebration, is also a celebration of the giving and receiving of the Torah, our heritage of wisdom and learning that we have been honored to receive. Some years I am very careful to say the Omer counting blessing and count every day as soon as Passover comes around, and there's all kinds of apps and email reminders you can get if you're interested. There's a Simpsons Omer counter. There's all kinds of Omer counters, and you'll get something in your box that reminds you. And some years I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling like I want to count every day, and something inside me just kind of fights it, and so I just kind of trust my gut. My gut told me not to do it this year. On one hand, the ritual of the counting of the Omer does bring a really tangible sense of appreciation for the passing of time. One day you're out loud counting, this is the 3rd day of the Omer, and then all of a sudden you're announcing, today is the 32nd day of the Omer, and you realize, gosh, time has really gone by fast. On the other hand, as someone who has lost both parents over the last few years and who recently returned from my mom's unveiling in Maryland, I feel like the passing of time has punched me in the gut just a little hard, and I don't really need that extra nightly reminder, that extra nightly ritual to remind me of this painful reality. My older daughter's wedding just this past summer, my younger daughter's wedding celebration coming up in November. I just moved Rosa into her apartment in Queens to start her graduate program, and now she's moving out next week, post-degree. How come it seems like these individual moments take forever to get here, and yet the years flash by at hyperspeed, relentlessly, leaving your head spinning with disbelief? So what is our lesson here? I think of the well-known passage from the biblical book of Psalms, from Psalm 90. The span of our life is 70 years, or given the strength, 80 years, but many of them are trouble and sorrow. They pass by speedily, and we are in darkness. Teach us to count our days rightly, that we may obtain a wise heart. Last night, my kids and their dad and I were sitting around Rosa's kitchen table talking about how COVID impacted us, especially the girls. Tanya said it was especially emotionally trying for her because she was always looking ahead to special things coming up. Her next trip, the next party, social event, concerts. Her calendar was full of these things, and she would think of time in terms of the next upcoming special adventure or excursion. And then suddenly, there were none. The calendar emptied of everything social. And she reports that those couple of COVID years were kind of an emotional crisis for her. She also spoke about how maybe just because time has passed and she's older, she's not now so overly focused on the next trip or the next special event. She still enjoys all those things, but she also feels more comfortable just being where she is. And so maybe that is what it means in the Psalms when we read, "Teach us to count our days rightly, that we may obtain a wise heart." Maybe counting our days rightly means that we count each day with the number 1. This is the day. This is the day I am in. This is the day I have. This is a day with blessings in it. This day may be hard, and I might be looking ahead to something in the future. But don't lose the importance, the centrality of this present moment. One of my favorite biblical verses is from Psalm 118. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismachavo. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us exult and rejoice in it. I love this verse because I have a lot of trouble living it. It takes extra discipline for me to simply be and feel joy in the present moment. And yet, ironically, the counting of our days reminds us of the importance of not counting our days. Counting our days reminds us that time is so very fleeting, and that the right way, the wise way to count our days is to count each day as 1. Here I am. Here we are. Now is what we have. Let us exult and rejoice in it. Amen.
the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made.
Sorry, Andy, I saw you nod. I thought that was my nod to come up. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Didn't mean to step on you there. So, thank you, Rabbi, for the wonderful sermon. Thank you, Andy, Ruth, and Xavier, and to all of you at home, to all of you here tonight, to our bar mitzvah tomorrow. Congratulations. A couple of announcements. By the way, I'm Matthew Meyer, president of the congregation. We have no Torah discussion tomorrow because of the bar mitzvah. We have a ladies' night that will be tomorrow night at Sicilian Oven. Now, the flyer said 5 o'clock, then the announcement said 7 o'clock, and it was back and forth. For clarification, it is at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, and they still have space. If any of you ladies want to show up, or if any of you men want to crash the party, that's fine too. We have a congregational meeting this Sunday. It starts at 10 a.m. At 9:30, there'll be coffee and bagels served. Be in the room across the hall. And then next week, we have our Monday Mahjong. It's not on here. Does anybody know about Canasta? Anyone? No one here from, is Canasta on Wednesday or? Yes, Canasta on Wednesday. Memorial Day is that May 20? That's not next Wednesday, is it? No, the 27th. TBO office and the ECC are closed for Memorial Day. And then on June 6th is the ECC's graduation and prom. That's a Thursday, and we are actually not having bingo that night. Sorry, ladies. No bingo that night. June 7th is the last day of school, and June 9th is the confirmation service. You've heard Rabbi speak about it several times. We've got the flyers out in the Hall of Honors, so check that out. Join us for that. That's all we have.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And I love you all so much that when they offered to bump me for my flight from New York today, and they said they would give a free flight, I was like, no, my members need me to be here. Braden needs me to be here, so just feel valued and cherished. Okay, so opening the ark, the brother of the bar mitzvah, Orion Bagoon, has requested that he do this all on his own, because I know he can. He has been trained to manage the ark openings and closings. So you may come on up and open the ark for Aleinu, page 586, and if you're able, you may rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Technique. You can close that too, yeah. Just don't slam it. Good job. Yeah, perfect. Yesher Koach, perfectly done. The master. You may be seated. We remember those who have departed this earth, those who live on in our memories and in our hearts, and in all the ways that they brought their unique gifts to this world. On this Shabbat, we remember during his time of Shloshim, Walter Lichtbach, the brother-in-law of Stan Klein, and those whose yahrzeits fall this week: Maurice Averbach, Marcia Bauman, Francis Blaustein, Milton Cohen, Esther Lee Farbman, Bruce Fennick, Flory Fine, Sina Gelman, Susan Arlene Gerstenfeld, Helen Goldstein, Hyman Goldstein, Marcia Grand, Mildred Lasky, Jack Levy, Chandra Levy, Pearl Lubart, Jack Luplan, Jason Robbins, Harry Miller, Abraham Minkowitz, Stuart Rome, Ruth Stoller Saxon, Esther Schultz, Irving Schultz. Are there others we wish to remember? We honor all of their memories by joining together in Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach l'rutei v'amlech malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. B'agala uvizman kari v'yemru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemed kudsha berichu. La'ela min kol berachata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Damiran bi'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
V'yimru, v'yimru, v'yimru. Amen. V'yimru, v'yimru, v'yimru. Amen. You may be seated. And we move from our sacred prayer of memory to rejoicing in the beauty of the Shabbat day. So, Braden Bagoon will be leading us in Kiddush. Is anyone coming up with you? Your brothers, anybody? Your big brother, Sebastian. Welcome up. And as requested, Braden had the opportunity to choose between wine and juice because he is the bar mitzvah, and he chose wine. So good luck to Braden. All right, so Kiddush, what? Well, you'll find out. Okay. Well, they're both wine, so I guess you're getting wine too. Oh, Orion, come on up. Okay. There you go. Kiddush is on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, l'mikra'e kodesh, zeher l'siyat, Mitzrayim, kivanu v'harta, ve'otanu kiddashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
We're good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'motzi lehem min ha'aretz.
Amen. You may enjoy your challah. And we conclude with the singing of Ein Keloheinu, which I believe is on page 626.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadolheinu, Ein Gemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadolheinu, Ein Gemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mi Keloheinu, Mi Kadolheinu, Mi Gemalkeinu, Mi Kamoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Moshienu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu.
There is more challah and wine and cookies and stuff in the back, in the breezeway. Shabbat Shalom.